Okay, part two, you guys. I'm in St. Louis today, so if you're in St. Louis, come see me. I'm going to be playing at Blues City Deli tonight from 6 to 8, and BB's Jazz Blues and Soups at 10 p.m. Friday night. Okay, I have an A harmonica, and it happens to be a Falisco, so let me make mention of that. Joe Falisco is top, for sure, the top customizer out there in the world of customization, most regarded as the finest technician on the harp that I know, at least. So part two, let's talk about, again, an A harmonica. I really want to focus on the texture side and mixing technique and blending. So I thought of this idea of taking a single lick and playing it as simply as I could, and then deciding how are we going to manipulate using that example. Because in the last video, I just talked about this idea quickly and just sort of gave like a quick example. So what I want to do this time is I want to play you a single lick, and I'll show you how, what's up, Eric, and show you how I'm going to adjust this one riff, okay? So you just take that one riff and you're going to work on manipulating each piece of this in a different way each time you pass through the lick. Let me explain what I mean. The first time you play your idea, you should keep it as clean and simple as you can. So in this case, I'm going to use single notes, pucker method, and just play the lick. Remember, this is my left hand. So if anybody's curious, I got a lot of messages. This is my left hand. Live streaming reverses gives you a mirror image. All right. 6 blow, 5 blow, 4 draw, 3 draw half step bend, 3 draw, 2 draw. Let me play this for you. That's the lick we're working with, and we're just going to take a minute and switch this up as much as we can, add some color texture to this thing, and get it coming to life in different ways. So let's just talk about method one. Hand, using your hand as a tool to change the sound. And you can experiment with all different types of hand wah. This is just one angle. Maybe I only want to do certain notes. So there we go. And then again, A harmonica, the notes that I'm playing are 6 blow, I should say the holes. 6 blow, 5 blow, 4 draw, 3 draw half step bend, 3 draw, and 2 draw. So we talked about hand wahs. You got this one line, and I would recommend, if you're out there, and you're into this kind of stuff, take your own ideas and practice a simple, clean line that you can manipulate, and that's the idea. So let's say next time you wanted to add in tongue blocking only. We'll just do some individual layers of texture first. And by the way, you could have gone... Could do some fast hand vibrato. So what's next? Tongue blocking. You could just slap the notes. I only tongue block typically the 4 and up, so I would go switch to pucker. Let's just combine a little bit of each of these now. A little bit of hand wah, a little bit of hand technique. Could use the hand wah on the tongue block portion, or maybe lower. So now we're blending a couple different things together. Octaves. If you can put your tongue on the harmonica and get splits in octaves, a really sweet spot would to be replace the 6 blow with 3 6 blow, 5 blow with 2 5 blow, 1 4 draw would replace that 4 draw. Let's add a little bit of hand effect. All right, let's take some dirty notes approach. Dirty notes are 2 notes at once. The sweetest spot is going to be that 3 draw because you've got the 3/4 right there. And the 2 could be 2/3 draw. Just to give it a more chordal-like effect. Again, you're trying to manipulate and add layers each time you go through. Either a single layer or start mixing layers. What else? Warbles. You could throw one quick warble. Right. You could throw one quick warble on that 3 draw. I don't think it works as great on the 4 for this phrase. Now we're getting somewhere by adding a little bit of a hand effect, you know, a little bit of the tongue blocking, dirty notes. Vibrato could be a layer. Now I cheated and I added a bent note in there that wasn't there originally. The chord itself, the 1, 2, 3 draw chord. Yeah, a double tap. You mean like a double time a note? Yeah, well, I'm using that method already. Right here. On the 3 draw half step and the 3 draw, I'm using that tom method. Hey, Daniel. You see where I'm going with this, you guys? So one phrase, switch it up. You're adding your own layers of, put some light on. You're adding your own layers of texture when you do this. And the coolest thing, to my ear at least, is when I hear players that take one phrase and instead of just going, they go, they add some of those elements. I don't know what you mean by double tap, Eric. I've never heard that expression, to be honest. You mean just double time? Like twice in one beat? Yeah, you know, there's a million ways you could slice and dice your riffs and your phrasing. But we're just talking again about texture. So texture is brought in by typically these techniques. Yeah, the ta-ta method, right. You mean like that, where the tongue comes on and off? Versus, I think that's what you mean. Just kind of pushing my tongue and taking it on and off each time for those octaves. Now, this is not in the subject and the title, but now that you've gotten the gist of what I mean by all this and how you can go about doing it with one phrase for practice, go back as a separate practice point and chop that little line up and work on phrasing. Just change up the spacing, the rest between the notes. that was tongue blocked. I never used that on that. Wow, that's a weird moment right here. This is a first in YouTube for me. Just randomly, accidentally tongue blocked that 3-draw half step bent, which I normally would never do, but it came out right. Those are all different ways to play that same riff. It's a whole different exercise altogether. I don't use fifth. The only fifth position melody, my friend, that I play is, that I know is the song Sugar. You want to hear some good examples of fifth position playing, listen to P.T. Gazelle, who uses it. Type in P.T. and then Gazelle. And he is a fine harmonica player out of Nashville and a good friend of mine. And he's using fifth really effectively often for this swinging jazz style. That's a little bit of Sugar in fifth. No, I don't know. They're always random. My live streams are going to always be random when it works for me, because they're, you know, they're recorded and put up later. So I figure why not? Because my schedule is just all over the map. At least during the summer, I'm on the road constantly. So if it works out, awesome. Like the current small group here today. But you know, I know that it's going to get published, so I just let it go up on YouTube. I'm just going to send you out with a little jam where I'm going to try to mix up and create a lot of texture. Listen to how I'm using the dirty notes versus the clean notes, 2 holes at once versus 1 hole. And listen to how I'm using, watch what I'm doing with my hands. Listen to whether there's tongue technique. Well, thanks for checking in today. Thanks for tuning in. That's all I got on the topic. I got to run. Got to go teach. So if you're in St. Louis, come see me at Blue City Deli tonight at 6 p.m. Thank you. And tomorrow night, Friday, this coming Friday, I'll be at BB's Jazz, Blues, and Soups at 10 p.m. with the Kilbourne Alley Blues Band. Don't miss it. See you guys.